So we have now and this is going to look screwed up. We're going to take this navigation where this big funky logo and the text that says your website, we're going to have it whittled down where we remove these bullets, get this text looking right, this logo sized correctly, the word your website sized correctly, so that when we're done, it's going to look more like, or maybe even almost exactly like, this navigation for this website. All right, so let's follow along. I'm going to show you the code that I add in, just one piece at a time. We'll talk about what each piece does. Okay, and your goal is to slow or stop the video if you need, copy the code, try to get it, understand what it does, maybe play with it a little bit, and maybe make your own styling and try things out. So let's take a look at the code and see what's causing this funky, broken navigation. All right, so we now have a logo in our styles that we're going to work with. We have navigation in our styles. There's one style that I'm going to hard code in for site name, and here's what that looks like. We've got a div with a container, our navigation section, which has our logo and our buttons. Inside of the logo section is our logo and the site name, and inside the nav is our individual nav items. All right, so let's take a quick look, and what we're going to do is we're going to first work on this logo part. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in display flex, and I'm going to add the align item center. That's going to center them up and down. Okay, let's save that and take a look at what that looks like. Hit refresh, and well, it did, but this logo is still huge. So how do we need to fix that? We need to work on its sizing. So we're going to come down here, we're going to give it a width of 3 rem, and we're going to have that height be automatically maintain aspect ratio with the width. So if it's 3 wide, then whatever it would be in ratio to that, it's going to keep it. Okay, let's save that and refresh. Now our logo is a little smaller. That's more manageable. Now let's do a little bit more. Let's create a margin on one side of it to increase space between the logo and the text. Let's save that and refresh. Now we've got that space we want. All right, next item is we're going to start working on our navigation. We're going to add a background color to our navigation item. We're going to save that and refresh. Now we got this dark gray, black, almost black background. Doesn't work well with this blue text, and we want to get rid of these bullets. So let's work towards getting this text the right color, removing these bullets, getting them the right size, and making them horizontal. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of padding between the navigation items, and then we are going to create a border radius. You're not going to see that just yet because I actually have to go and do other things to the unordered list and the list items to get them the right color. But let's save and see what that does. So we save it, refresh, and now we see we've got a little more space, and now we've got this background of the nav items now has a curved corner. Let's make the display flex so that things will start to spread apart. And then I want to show you this justify content. I'm hoping I'll remember to come back and play around with this because this does some interesting things. When we start using Flexbox and we start using this space between, we can really change the way our navigation, the way it displays going forward. So let's save this and refresh, and boom, all this over here, if you can see it, is all the way over here to the right. We still have our bullets, still small text, still blue, but we're starting to get there. Now we're going to add a margin to the bottom so that we get a little bit of extra space here. And let's save that and refresh. You'll notice we get a little extra space. That'll come in handy when we start putting our content down here. All right. Next item is we're going to start working on the actual unordered list. We're going to change that list type so that it no longer has bullets. So all those dots, when I save, they will go away. Now we're going to put a little bit of margin between them so that there's space in between, and we are going to add some padding to those individual items. So the text is going to have padding, the unordered list is going to have padding. It's going to space away from the top and the right over here, and we are going to change our fonts. We want them to be sans serif. We want them to be just our normal weight, and we're going to declare that so that if something else in our styles interferes, we've at least made sure that our navigation items are going to be normal, and we're going to increase the type size. So let's save that, refresh. Now, yes, we still have a stacked navigation list, but it didn't move over this way. It moved down. They got bigger. They're a little easier to read. All right, last thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to affect these three here. So let's work on each individual list item. First thing I want to do is I want to make it no longer vertical stack like it is. I want to make it horizontal. So this will do that by going display inline block. This will display those links horizontally. By the way, if at some point in time you're wondering what each thing does, I tried to put some comments in here that tell you what each of these styles do if the style seems to be a little unfamiliar. We're going to put a little bit of margin right, so this is going to put space between the actual links, and we're going to change the link text color. By saving that, now we get a little bit easier to read. Now we've got some space between them. We've got big white text. It's still underlined, so let's start fixing that. We've got a little space here, a little space here. Let's fix that underline and see what's next. I removed that underline right there. Text decoration is none. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of padding around the link text so that there will be some more space here between. So let's save that and refresh. Now we got a lot more space. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. We got a lot more space there, and we no longer have that underline. Now, if I will add a border radius and a background color, we should get a light gray background whenever I save that. So I'm going to save that now and refresh. Now you see that we have links. Okay, the last thing I want to do is I want to remove this green background. I want to change this text to be white on this dark gray. Because the green background goes away, we get dark gray. Then I'm going to remove this orange. That text is going to become white. It's going to be sans serif, and we're going to polish this off. So let's first start by removing our orange color background. That's right here. And I'm going to remove this padding of 1 rem so that we can more closely match what we think our finished website looks like. Okay, so I go over here and I save that. I refresh. Now our dark gray background's going more edge to edge. I'm going to come in here, and remember I've got this one little section over here that's called site name. And I'm going to grab site name, I'm going to copy that, I'm going to build my logo styling with that. So site name, I'm going to come in and add my curly brackets and return, and I'm going to say font family sans serif. I'm going to say font size, let's do it at 3 rem. Line height, let's do it at 4 rem. Let's also make the font weight bold. All right, so we've got our font size, font family, and line height. Let's save that and see what that does. Still black on green, so we need to remove that lime green from our logo. Well, if you look, we've got these logo styles, but we also still have this. So I'm going to delete this logo style altogether. And I'm going to save it, and you're going to notice that we're going to have our logo, but we're going to have black text on a dark gray. A little harder to read for some people. So the last thing I'm going to do is in site name, I'm going to come in and I'm going to say color is white. Save that and refresh. Now you have your logo, your website name, you've got your nav items. Okay, you can finagle this a little more and get things lined up, get them looking as pretty as you want them to look. But right now we now have a navigation for this website. Does it look identical? No, but that might be the task you get to do. You are going to get this file here, so this messed up website, and you're going to get a broken version of this. And I'd like for you to follow along. Our goal is to aim towards building this. Once we're done, we'll have all of this stuff. We'll be able to make even more improvements. Like we'll fix this footer where the links text doesn't hit all the way to the edge. We'll be making something really cool by the end of this semester. Hope to see you on the next class and enjoy building.